Welcome back to the Homestead. Welcome back to the new addition onto our little homestead home. And I'm going to talk about something that is essential to being a homesteader. So the point of the video is to get you comfortable with getting out of your comfort zone, because there are jobs out here or on your homestead that you are going to have to learn how to do, even though you're totally uncomfortable with them. Let me show you something that I'm doing to get out of my comfort zone, something that has to get done on the homestead right now, and that's electrical work. So electrical work is something that I've never messed with before. Yes, I've changed out light fixtures and wall sockets and light switches and all that, but I take it out, I turn the power off, I take it out, I put it right back in the same way that I took it out. So that's really simple. I've never added anything before, and that's what I'm going to be doing in this room today. And I'm uncomfortable with electrical work because first, I don't know much about it, and I've been studying my butt off. And second, I helped out my dad when I was young. My grandfather was an electrician. I didn't learn anything from him. I learned a little from my dad, but I got zapped a few times, shocked when I was testing wall outlets and stuff like that. I didn't care for it. I didn't want anything to do with it after that. Anything else I will do. I told you that before. Put in the window, put in the door, build a structure, put in plumbing, no problem at all. But electrical work, I've steered clear of for a long time. Until right now, I'm going to have to suck it up and do it. And look, if you study hard enough and you put in your time and you ask friends who know how to do it, you will be able to learn how to do something, no problem. I don't care what your education level is. I don't care, about anything. You can do it. So let's get started putting in these boxes. That is absolutely the easiest part. But there are a few rules that you need to keep in mind. So the electrical codes say that once you enter a room, you need an outlet within 6 feet of that opening, that door that you opened. And then after that, every 6 feet around the space. And then for the height of the outlets, you need to be at least 12 inches above the floor, the finished floor. And so the top of your box can be at about 16 inches. Now, of course, if you have a countertop, then they're not going to be 12 inches above the floor. You need to have them above the countertop. Normal kitchen cabinetry with the countertop on it is usually 36 inches high. So then you have a 4-inch, usually, backsplash on the back of that. And then you want to come up above that. So 45 inches to the center of your box is usually perfect. Now, if you're customizing a space, you can obviously put them wherever you want. In the houses I used to design, we would put them up high, usually 60 inches, maybe a little more, 65 inches, depending on the house and the ceiling height, for equipment on the wall, like your TV or whatever it is. So just make sure that in your area, you're paying attention to local codes, permitting if you need to do it. But out here on our homestead, we're out in the middle of nowhere, so I can pretty much do what I want. But I need to be smart about it and stay within those codes to make sure everything is good for the house and safe for the house. So what I've learned so far is 14-2 wire is good for lighting and 12-2 wire is good for your outlets. And this is especially if you're in a kitchen type area where you've got loads like dishwasher and refrigerator and a lot of appliances plugged into those outlets, and that's what we're going to have in here. But if you're an electrician and I've read the wrong thing or interpreted things incorrectly, let me know in the comment section below. We've got all kinds of boxes for our ceiling lights, our exterior light on the side out here, and the boxes for the outlets. Let's get going. And if you're interested, we've got brand new t-shirts here on the channel. So if you go in the little banner ad below the video or over to our main page and click on the brand new store tab, you'll see all of them listed there, and the proceeds go to help out the channel. So on this wall, our countertop is going to come out 24 inches. So I want an outlet on this wall low, and I'm definitely within the 6 feet of entering the room from the handle side of the door. So our finished floor is going to be about another 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to set the top of the box at 16 3/4. So depending on where you put the blocking in your wall, or where whoever built your building put the blocking in the wall, you might have to adjust the height just a slight bit for your outlets. Ours is a little bit low. So our outlets are going to be just a touch lower. So most of these little boxes have flanges on them or a stop that will tell you where it'll go so that you can accommodate your drywall around the side of it. Some boxes like this don't have that little indicator, so you're going to have to bring it out a little ways from the wall so you can accommodate your drywall properly. And I had to take what I could get because supply is out of control. There's a lot of shortages and a lot of things, so take what you can get, especially living out way out in the countryside. So this is our exterior door, and over here I'm going to have a switch for an exterior security light, and I'm also going to have a three-way switch for the light above in the center of the room. So I need a 2-gang box for 2 switches, and I'm going to put it right here. Obviously we can't put it here because the framing is too small. You can't fit it in there. So it's got to go here, and it's got to go here for another reason, and that's to accommodate the trim around your door. So light switches should be mounted 48 inches to the center of the box from the top of the finished floor. That's the most comfortable height for anyone. So in the case of this build, the blocking was put right at 48 inches. I think I'm going to knock this piece of blocking out of here, move it up a little bit so I can get my switch at the proper height. Now that we have all of our outlets and switch boxes taken care of, I can put in the light boxes. Now this one will span between our ceiling joists, and I've measured off the window to the center of the room. The window isn't exactly centered in the room, so I'm actually going to center it on the window so it looks nice. The window is off by maybe 5 inches from center in the space. So wherever's best for you to hang it so it looks nice, so it lines up with other things. You'll thank me later. Luckily our ceiling joists are pretty nicely staggered and set up, so I don't have to adjust this too much. And this slides so you can adjust it to nicely center up with whatever it is you're trying to center it up with. In this case, it's all the way over here to be centered with our window. So now comes the fun part, running the wire, but I need holes, so now I watched and read about something that's common sense, and that is to keep all your holes at the same exact level through the walls. That makes pulling the wire through them a lot easier because you're not going up to another hole and trying to pull it up and the wire's kinking and then going back down again. That just doesn't make sense. So keep all your holes where you're making them at the same exact height. And I'm going to go about 6 inches below where my boxes are set. So another important thing to do is drill through the center of your stud, not out towards the edges. And that's because that gives that wire a little bit of protection from where you're screwing in your drywall screws or from the sheathing from outside. But your sheathing should already be on. So we need to drill through our top plates over here so we can fish the wire down from our ceiling light and down to the 3-way switch over here. So now I've got my boxes set, my holes drilled, I know where my wires are going to run. I need to understand how I'm going to get power here, or if I'm going to take it all the way back to the box and do what's called a home run. So I'm definitely going to do the home run with all the outlets, with that 12-3 wire. I have a couple of open circuit breakers, or spots for circuit breakers in my main panel, and the 12-3 wire is 20 amps, so I'm going to need a 20 amp circuit breaker for that. I know the 14-3 is 15 amp. So I believe I do have power on this wall over here. I think I might connect my lights to the line that's already over here and powered. So this is the old box with the switch in it for our old exterior light. This used to be the exterior of the house. I think I'm going to flip it around and utilize the box and the wires, the power coming in here for the lights in the room. But I need to understand what's on this circuit, and I don't want to overload the circuit. So I need to do some testing around the house. A couple of things that are really handy that you need to do if you're doing any electrical work are a clamp meter like this, a socket tester. There's a couple of other pieces. I'll list all these that I use in the description below. But in order to make everything safe, I need to test, and find out what's live, what isn't, what breaker it's on, where it's coming from, and all that. Good Good morning and welcome back. I didn't finish everything last night, but let me show you what I did. And if any of you electricians out there want to critique my work, please do. Let me know what I did incorrectly. Okay, so I just ran the wire. Now, I studied and learned that leaving 4 to 6 inches hanging out of the box is appropriate, so you have enough to work with, and to make a little bend in your wire right before the box so that in the future, if something has to move, you've got some extra length to be able to move it. And that's actually really an important thing, I think, because this wire here, which is our hot wire, was for our switch that was on the other side of the wall here. I barely have any play in it at all. It is stretched to its limit. So I actually had to move the box up a little bit to get that switch in there. It's not at the 48 inches where it should be. It's up at like 50 because I just didn't have enough wire. And I don't want to like splice in a couple of inches. I don't think that's correct. And I don't know where this wire goes, and I'd have to tear apart the house to get to it. Anyway, so we ran from box to box to box to box over here, through the wall at a straight path, and did everything the same way. From this box over here, we've got this is for our switch for our light that's above the window on the wall. All that's going to be happening here is it's going to get power from this box, from this outlet, and that's it, as our 2 wires are going to run through there. So the only other thing that I have to do, and I actually don't have any 3 conductor cable, so I need a 12-3 or a 14-3 to be able to do the 3-way switch for the lights. I can run just the single wire for this outside box here, which I still need to get up. I need to cut a hole in the side of the building. I don't really want to do that right now, but that's for the outside light. That's the switch for the outside light, and then the one for the 3-way switch for the light up. Can you see it up there? Up in the ceiling. Anyway, that'll go back over to that light where it's powered from. Now, I also have to check this out right there. That's the rest of the 12-3 wire, or 12-2 wire that I have. And I got to get that from that box up through the top plate. I've already drilled a hole for it, and then back to my main panel. I think I have enough. It's going to be really close. That was 100 feet of wire, and so I got to get that back there. I did something weird here. I don't know. Electricians, you let me know if I did this correctly, but it was the most convenient for me. Let me move this bright light out of the way. So we've got, from this box, we've got it run up through the top plate over here, across above where the ceiling will be, and then back down through this top plate over here and back down to this box on the wall. Now that used a lot of wire, but that was the only way I could really think about how to do it, and I didn't want to keep drilling through all above the door right there. It was about the same height. It's only a little bit extra wire, so I think that's how I had to do it. Seems like a lot of wire to run over for one outlet on the other wall, but no big deal. No big deal at all. That's what I've got, and I think I'm getting over the hurdles, that mental block of, oh man, I can't work with electricity. It kind of scares me, da-da-da-da-da. Don't know what I'm doing, don't understand it. So I did a lot of studying, and hopefully I'll knock this out with no problem. And it'll be another skill that I've learned how to do. And although I won't be an expert at it at all, but like I said before, you've got to learn how to do these things. If you're going to be more self-sufficient, you have to get over any fears that you have of anything. And just do it. Okay, well, I can't do anything else without that 12-3 wire, so I'm going to head over and start working on our shower, or potentially go pick up the rest of our solar system parts, which are about 2 hours away from us. Hopefully I can do that. Anyway, we hope you all have a great day, and if you got any questions, leave them for me in the comments section below. Have a great day. We love you. See you next time. Bye.